In this tiny aquarium, I'm going to hatch and raise animals until they are big enough to get their own babies. What animals, you ask? Well, dragons. Aqua dragons, to be more precise. You may notice that this is a kid's toy, and I am not a kid. Oh well. So in here are eggs of dragons, and this thing has got to be the most crappy enclosure I have ever seen. Nice, it got lights. So I'm going to be hatching a whole bunch of aqua dragons in this bigger enclosure, and just a few in the tiny aquarium. But to be honest, both of them are not really suited. So once they're fully grown, I'm going to give them a real big enclosure. But before we get there, we have to go back to day 1. On this day, I set up both this and the tiny aquarium and added the eggs. This is bottled spring water. Adding some oxygen. Okay, this looks weird. Moving on. So this package contains eggs, huevos, ufs. I know what the first one is, but the other two, no clue. It also contains salt, because aqua dragons are brine shrimps, and those are saltwater animals. And as a biologist, I can tell you, saltwater animals need salt water. All these brown dots are eggs that should be hatching within a day. This one is all done, so it's time to prepare the tiny aquarium. Step 1, lower the aquarium all dramatically. Step 2, add sand. And this one is very important because I like sand. And sand is aesthetic. No clue what aesthetic is, but I've read it somewhere. Okay, I saw TikTok, you got me. Step 3 is to add the water, and I'm just taking a bit from the bigger tank. This way I'm sure the salt concentration is right, and I don't accidentally, kill the dragons. The last step is to add some eggs. Oh, right, I almost forgot to tell you. I'm not going to do any fancy editing in this video. I'm just going to show you how these animals hatch, grow, and then bow chicka bow wow. Okay, so on day 2 it was snowing, so I had to do something important first. So with that out of the way, we got our first hatchling. I'm giving him some more oxygen. Look, there are more. I've counted around 5. And yes, surprisingly, I can count. And yes, this footage looks like I'm looking for the Loch Ness Monster. In other words, it sucks. But stick with me here. Once they get bigger, it's easier to film them. In here, at first, I didn't see anything. But then there it was, the Loch Ness Monster. Or it could be an aqua dragon. Who knows, this footage sucks that hard. In the next 2 days, this one here will be joined by hundreds more. On day 3 I had to refill the water. That's because water evaporates and leaves the salt, so the salt concentration rises. Nice, more hatched. We're raising an army of dragons here, or an army of stupid brine shrimps. I guess it's time to give them some food. Alimentation, nourriture. This is algae powder, and the shrimps love it. I'm only adding a small bit because they can overeat and die. Yeah, I would have been dead a long time ago if that could happen to me. You need to see this. You can probably hear from my voice that I'm really excited. Hundreds have hatched. Of course, they also need oxygen. And look at this. So many. This one is in the middle of hatching. And as a biologist, I can tell you this means that, damn, this footage still sucks. But it will get better, I promise. Of course, these get some food too. But remember, not too much or they will die. Or worse, feel bloated. I can't really tell because they're that tiny, but I think they are eating. I didn't think it was possible, but on day 4, some more hatched. At what point does one have too many aqua dragons? Never. Now you're probably asking yourself, aren't these just sea monkeys? And that's a very stupid question because the difference is that aqua dragons sounds a lot cooler. Besides that, yeah, they're basically sea monkeys. They have grown, and the weird thing is, they grow faster in here than in the big aquarium, and that will continue the same way in the rest of the video, you'll see. Now I skipped a few days because I was tired to try to film them when they're this tiny. I'm sure at day 8 I will be able to get better footage. Never mind. Luckily, they've still got a lot of growing to do. I think you know the routine by now, oxygen and food, but not too much or dead. All stupid jokes aside, they are actually doing pretty good in this tiny aquarium, and they are growing faster than the ones in this one. That is probably because there's less competition for food and maybe a little bit more space per animal. That doesn't mean, however, that the tiny aquarium is ideal for them. Once they are fully grown, I'm moving them out of there, so you probably should not try this at home. Don't worry, from now on, they're gonna get cooler fast. If you had joined my Patreon, you would have seen this already, and you would know what animal was in here. Just saying. It took me 12 days to realize that another background might make it easier to film them. Oh well, we're here now. Look at this one, it's huge. Unfortunately, that is not what she said. Be honest guys, are they starting to look like dragons yet? I think I might got scammed. This one is filtering the sand for food, so I guess they're hungry. This is also the first time they're big enough to actually see them eat. You can see their insides turn more and more green the more algae they eat. These are filter feeders. That means they filter the water for food. You can actually see the food particles flow toward him. Pretty cool. Let's take a look at the ones in the bigger aquarium. Like I said, these are growing slower. But of course, that is not an excuse to put all your animals in tiny jars. Your cat might be an exception. On day 15 you have to forgive me, I already fed them. I just thought you have seen me stick a toothpick in water enough times by now. The ones in the bigger aquarium have grown a lot too, so they might need some more food. Guys, the little spoon was included in the set, okay? My setup just screams professional. I know this is getting boring, but eyes on the prize. And that prize is seeing Aqua dragons hump. Yeah, at this point I don't know if it's worth it. Anyway, to day 20. I just know you missed a toothpick. You're welcome. Day 20 is a special day because that is the day I almost ruined this whole video. I almost did something very stupid. Watch. I wanted to put up my finger for scale. I know this made me look like a stupid idiot. Don't get me wrong, I am a stupid idiot, but I don't want to make it too obvious. Now in this aquarium, I wanted to test something. Looks like they don't like the light. I am not sure, but it might be because in the light they are more exposed and more easily spotted by predators. Or in this case by a weirdo with a camera. For the record, yes, that's a lot of food. And yes, I'm probably overfeeding them. Let's hope they can handle it. On day 23, we can start to see the difference between males and females more clearly. The bigger one on the left is the male, and the other one is the female. But that isn't the only difference. Males have modified antennae that have turned into claspers. Those are used to hold on to females while mating, and you will see them in action soon. The ones in here are finally getting to a decent size too. Is it just me or does it look like they're climbing the mountain here? Yeah, probably just me. They look good, but they still have got some growing to do. On day 28, the ones in the tiny aquarium finally got it on. I am no expert, but I don't think that is the right way. The male is holding onto the female with its claspers, but it should be the other way around. Maybe Bob is better at it. Let's take a look. Bob, what the hell are you doing? This is even worse. At least it can't get any worse than this. Yeah, they keep surprising me. A third one joined in. Bob is the one in the middle. But don't worry, once I move him to the big aquarium in a few days, he will get it right. Go Bob. Anyway, you might have noticed that the water is starting to get a bit blurry and it is starting to smell a bit. Also, the shrimps are getting lethargic. Don't ask me where I learned that word. I said don't ask. Now, I know all those things sound like the water is bad, but surprisingly, it is actually very bad. That is why it's time to prepare their new home. Hand for scale. Of course, I also need to add water. This is exactly 2.5 liters, give or take. This tiny bottle already contains some algae, so this will jumpstart the jar. Next is the salt. This is 50 grams. For the Americans, that's like a foot of salt. Yeah, I don't know. I have to make sure all the salt is dissolved. I wish I could move them all immediately, but first I have to acclimate them. And that is what I've been doing the past 3 days. I have been transferring water from this aquarium into the big jar and the other way around. This way they are already getting used to the new water. I also added some stones because they rock and they are more surface for algae to grow on. I have also been acclimating these ones, and since this is less water, this goes faster. That means I can already try moving one. They have been in a tiny aquarium for way too long already. That mistake is on me. I did already move a few into the blue tank to make the tiny aquarium less crowded, but still I should have started acclimating sooner so I could move them sooner into their final home. On day 38, this female clearly needs some more space. Dude, she's not in the mood. Let her go. The one I already put in the big jar is doing fine, and there is even some more I accidentally transferred while acclimating. Some algae are growing too, so I think it's time to move some more into the big jar. I'm going to move a whole bunch, but not all. Bob is going to have to wait a few more days. I want to be absolutely sure they all can survive in the big jar before I move everyone. These two couldn't even wait until they were in the new jar. Of course, I'm also going to move the 3 that are left in the tiny aquarium. They look fine and healthy, but still, I feel bad for letting them live in here for so long. 2 more to go, and then they can finally swim freely. There he goes. And this is the last one. They look so happy. Yeah, that's a lie, I don't know what happy looks like with them. But at least they're eating. An indirect sign that they're eating the algae is that their intestines look green. Another indirect sign is, them literally eating algae. In a few days I'm going to move Bob and the rest of these, and that is also when you will see the first females with eggs, so keep watching, I guess. On day 41 it was finally time to move Bob and the rest of them. Go get him, Bob. I put on a time lapse for moving the others. Only one left. I'm really happy they all got a new home now. Let's see if we can find Bob. My man, finally doing it right. That is a female with eggs even. Those pink things are eggs in an egg sac. Moral of the story, this tiny aquarium might be fine for babies and juveniles, but definitely not for the adults. I definitely should have moved them sooner. Same for this one, I don't think it's sustainable in the long run. This big jar, however, can probably support multiple generations of them. Now stop, don't click off, click on this end screen instead. It will help me a lot. Thank you to all members, patrons and everyone that watched. And welcome to the new members and patrons. I think you'll like this video next. Bye.